All right, guys, today is Monday, July 17th, 2023. I've got it wrote on the calendar here. Next weekend is a car show going on at Tulsa at the Osage Casino. It's called the Slamboree. It's a car, truck, and motorcycle show. I'm assuming the vehicles, like the cars and trucks, for Slamboree, probably lowered stuff. I thought about taking my car, but it's an all-weekend event, and I believe it's probably outdoors and probably in a black asphalt paved parking lot. And this is July here in Oklahoma, and it's like 100-degree temps scheduled for most of the week. So it doesn't sound like a good time to drive a non-air conditioned black car over there and sit with it all day in a parking lot. But I'm probably going to go to that show on Saturday, me and my wife, and video and walk around, look at stuff, and talk to people and that kind of stuff. But anyway, I've never been to Slamboree. I've watched videos, I think, of it last year. So there is a YouTube video on it, of it last year. It looks like it rained. But anyway, I wanted to give a little bit of a verbal update on my hardtop and talk about something else that's going on, doing a little bit of change up in my life here. So I have had a mobile vintage car repair service for a couple of years, where basically I drive to your place and work on your old classic car and stuff at your place. Anyway, it kind of got to the point where there's a lot of wear and tear on the truck, and I was traveling. I think the furthest I traveled was a little over an hour to go work on somebody's car, and I did that for a week straight. So, you know, with fuel as expensive as it is, and my truck being as old as it is, my transmission's a little weak in my truck now, and I'm planning on putting a kit in it this winter here in my garage. So I need that transmission to last at least until winter. I can drive it fine, normal, you know, easy, anywhere I need to go around here local. But if I go to pass somebody or get on an on-ramp or something like that where you got to give it some pour the coals to it, it starts slipping a little bit. So anyway, I've just decided that I'm not going to do the mobile thing anymore. I've decided that I might take on a little bit of work, easy work stuff here at my house. I'm not doing full-blown restorations for people. Not going to do it. I am in a two-car garage at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So it's going to have to be easier stuff. Now, I'm not going to do any body work and paint work for people. I might paint, like if you know, have something a little small you need painted on your car to match or something. I'll do that. I'm not going to be doing any upholstery work. I may do a trunk kit or something if somebody wants that. And it's not just Tri-5 Chevys. I can work on just about anything old. I've been a mechanic all my life. I'm not going to be rebuilding any engines or transmissions for people, but I will, you know, put an engine in, transmission in, swap stuff, whatever. I can do wiring, metal work. If you got a rusty car, I can cut it all out, put the metal in, new metal in it and stuff. But I can do just about everything else. I'm just not going to be doing some of that more expensive, you know, tedious stuff. You know, obviously a two-car garage, I don't have a paint shop, so I can't turn out a quality paint job. I do pretty good on my own stuff, but you know, I've found in the past that when you do cars for people, they want a show car paint job for a farm truck paint job price, and people are just way too picky. So I just found out it was better just to not paint other people's cars. So only person I have to please myself, so that's how that works. On upholstery stuff, now this on my hardtop was a kit from Ciadella. It's pre-sewn and you just pretty much put it on, but there's a lot more work to it than just putting it on. You have to foam the seats and, you know, bend the seat springs and all kinds of stuff to get everything back leveled out. It's very tedious work, and I don't feel comfortable enough to do it for somebody else's car, because a professional shop would get it done a lot faster instead of me taking forever to do it because I'm so slow at it, because I'm not efficient. But anyway, I can do just about everything else. Now, I've got a 55 two-door hardtop Belair coming here in a week to get work on it. There's probably going to be about 2 weeks worth of work on the car. It got done at a shop, worked on it at another shop. They did metal work, body work, paint, and all that stuff, and assembled the body stuff, the trim and all that, and the glass. But everything else needs done. It needs wiring finished. It's my cousin's car. I was driving back and forth, which was about 35 or 40 minutes from here for me to drive to his place and work on it. And I was doing it off and on for the last couple of years. Anyway, I called and talked to him and told him just to bring it over here. It'll just work out better, because he doesn't have a welder, and his little metal shop that he has just has one light fixture right in the very top in the middle. So even with the doors open, it doesn't have windows in it. Even with the front doors open on his little metal shop, I have to carry around a lamp from my house with an extension cord to work on something. It's just way too dark in there. And it's sure too hot to go out and do it in the sun, you know what I mean? So it's just gonna work out better to get it over here. And then I've got a welder, and I've got all, you know, bolts and screws and nuts. And you know, when you get something back from a shop that's not finished, there's usually missing little parts and pieces and screws and nuts and bolts and that type of stuff. And it'd just be better to bring it here, because I have nuts and bolts and screws, and I even have spare little Tri-5 pieces here and there. So it'll be more efficient for him to bring it over here. And anybody that brings your car over here will stay in the garage. It won't be left outside. So anyway, that's pretty much how that works. Now I'm about 15 minutes from Tulsa. So if you're interested in bringing a vehicle over here to have me work on, you can contact me here through YouTube. There, I have my email listed in the About section at YouTube. So if you go to my channel, it'll say like videos, playlists, community, I think, and then it says About. So if you click on About, it has my email address, and that's how you can get a hold of me. But anyway, I am right off of Route 66, in between Claremore and Tulsa. And my labor rate is $40 an hour, and that is a very, very cheap labor rate. But I don't have a big giant shop to pay for, and I don't have overhead. So I do this stuff because I love it. I don't do it to cut people's heads off. So that's how that works. But anyway, if you got work done, get a hold of me. I'll do it. But I'm going to be working on my cousin's car, so I've got 1 week to finish my hardtop. So that is the plan, and I've got a hell of a good start on it already. I still have to sand and buff the hood. I got the deck lid off the car. I got my weather strip seal glued on last night about 10:30. I've made 2 panels. I've actually got them all, the little insert panels. The other 3 are cut out and sanded and edged. I just need to wrap them and then put them on. This is actually Dyna Liner. This is not Dynamat. It's made by the same company, but this is a closed cell foam. It's a very lightweight. It's a peel and stick back. And I basically I made templates out of paper, which I have up here. So if anybody wants some trunk inserts, I have the templates there. But anyway, I cut them out, and I softened the edge on them to where they're roll instead of just being cut straight. And then I spray glued the material on there. This is the suede material, suede-like material, wrapped on here, and that's exactly the way my headliner is in my car. It's the same material. So now it'll pretty much, the trunk of the car will match the interior of the car, and I think that's pretty cool. But I'll have black suede little insert panels there. I've got my flashlight holder that's the black suede. I got these access panels that bolt on that are black suede. And I had button head Allens in here, and I drilled it out 1 size bigger to 1032 and put the ARP 12 points in. So now all the 12-point ARPs kind of match. But anyway, so I got to put the deck lid on. I got to get the hood sanded and polished, get it put on. I got the rear sway bar and the front sway bar installed. I can show you the hood hinge here. I got these. I painted these hood hinges last week, and it just wasn't very nice. And it is hot, man. It's been in the 100-degree temps. So when I go to paint, the paint is kicking off real quick because it's 100-degree temperature, even with slow reducer in this stuff. But anyway, I sanded the whole hinges down, repainted them, and then a couple days later, I went back and clear coated, taped them off, and clear coated these areas that I speed hold. So now the hinges are two-tone. And then I got my little trim screws, stainless steel with the countersink Allen head screws in there. And those are all buffed and everything. I had to cut them all to length, and then I even sand and polished the ends of them, so that looks good. But anyway, I've got them out here cooking, so the sun will cook them, and then I'm going to go in with a brush paint, silver, and do all the inlays, circles, silver. And that way I can go back and wipe it down with some mineral spirits on a rag on a foam sponge block. That's how I did some of the speed hole detail paint on the car. You get a nice soft edge that way instead of my shaky self going in there and trying to brush paint all that. It looked real choppy. But anyway, the car should be done this week. That's the plan. And I've got to do a full-blown detail. I've got some paint correction to do. There's a few little scratches here and there, just stuff that'll sand and buff out, but I need to give it a final detail. It hasn't yet to have a full-blown detail, show-ready detail, and I'm going to do that this week. So when he brings his car at the end of the week, I'm hoping he brings it maybe Saturday. He's going to have it trailered over here. I'll have plastic on my car on this side of the garage, and then I can work on his. But probably gonna be about 2 weeks worth of work on his car, most likely. But just finishing up stuff, so that'd be pretty cool. But after his car's done, if nobody else brings me something else to work on, I'm gonna be getting back on my wife's 55 four-door and getting that going again. But it'll sure be nice to have this car out of my hair, man, have it all done, you know what I mean? But lots of work to go. What else? What else? I guess that's about it, guys. Yeah, I guess that is it. Wow. Seems like there's something else, but I can't think of it. But anyway, I'm pretty excited. You know, be a little bit of change of scenery next week. Move my cousin's car getting here. It's still it's another 55 Chevy, but you know, at least it's a change of scenery from working on this black car, you know what I mean? But there's some car shows coming up that I do plan on taking the car to. I wouldn't mind going and taking my car to the Slamboree, but it's going to be too hot, man. It's just way too hot, I feel, you know what I mean? I don't have air conditioning, so it's going to have to be fall weather or spring weather, I guess. Anyway, there's car shows coming up in, let's see, September and October that I do plan on taking the car to. One of the car shows that I plan on going to is Veneta's Oktoberfest car show. Now, the last time I went to that car show was in 2017. I took my Cutlass Salon 442 over there and entered the show, and the judges had clipboards. They actually walk around, and it's a clipboard judge show. It's not one of those shows where, you know, people that are not really car people are judges, and they basically just give awards out to people that are their next door neighbors or their brother-in-law or that type of stuff. They actually judge the cars. They actually come back and judge my car twice. They come back, asked if they could open the door and that type of stuff. I won best paint at that show with that car, so I also won first place in my class with it. And got my picture in paper, so that's pretty awesome. But I do plan on taking this car to that show because of that reason. Now, that car show in Veneta is actually called Oktoberfest. They actually, if they still do it, I don't know, but they used to block off the main highway coming in a town, both ends, and blocked off the road for like a half hour. So you were stopped in traffic. If you're driving through that town, you're stuck in traffic for a half hour, and they let all the people cruise their cars. And if you entered the car show, they put a little sticker on your car, and you get to do burnouts. So I don't know if they still do it because it's been 2017 since I was there last, but I did really enjoy that car show because I grew up down around Veneta, another town over by it, so I knew a lot of people there. I seen a lot of people there at that show that I hadn't seen in years, so it was really, really nice time. I just haven't been back since because I haven't really had anything since. I've just been working on stuff. But anyway, the other car show I plan on going is in September. I'm not sure the dates of either of the deals, but it's in the Claremore, Oklahoma, Claremore Lake car show. But I am a little worried about the speed bumps at that show, so I'm going to have to go down and do a little recon, probably get out of a vehicle and measure how high the speed bumps are. A friend of mine, Mark Wallace, went last year, and he said they actually had ramps set up at the speed bumps because these aren't just speed bumps. These are obstructions. They are really tall and they're wide. So, I mean, they'll knock your head off going over them at slow speed just in my truck. So, you know, something lowered is probably not a good idea. But anyway, if I can get through there and get into the lake, the park where it's at, I'll take my car to that. That's most likely going to be the first show the car goes to because it's in September and the Veneta's is in October. And then when Starboard Show comes around at Tulsa, that's in February of 2024. That'll be the first indoor show for this car. So anyway, guys, that's where I'm at. Just a verbal update, give you a heads up on what's going on. If you need any work done on your car, contact me through email. But anyway, thanks for watching.